Hey guys, Drew with Because Jiu-Jitsu here again. We're going to focus this video on the spider guard and not how to use the spider guard. We've done that video, and if you'd like to see that, we'll put a link underneath to go view that to be the user of from the bottom. Today we're going to focus on how to deal with the spider guard when it's being used against you. So the thing about the spider guard is it's a tension guard that has a lot of push-pull involved, and it stifles your movement as a passer. So we're going to go over a few different variations on spider and a couple of options that we have at each point to both break the tension that's keeping us in place as well as put us into a passing position where we can get rid of the guard and then get rid of the guard altogether as we pass. So the first version of spider we'll go over has my opponent grabbing two spider grips on the cuff and both heels on my hips. So he's going to get that push-pull tension by pulling my cuffs and pushing his heels. It's going to be hard for me to move around. I carry his weight and he can push and pull me in and out of range depending on what he's working on. I like to grab inside grips right here on the knees so I've got some control for the time it takes me to flare them out just a little bit and step forward with my lead leg, shin first into his thigh heavy. We want to compress that leg, drop down to a knee, and pushing forward on those grips. So we're now in what we call combat base, where we're very situated here. We've got our heel basically touching our butt, so we're not worried about any De La Riva options coming into play. And I've got heavy pressure on his guard right here, so the tension is gone. I've broken the tension once his feet are off my hips, but also I've got his legs so compressed that he can't push back on them to afford him that tension. So again, he's got this tension where he's got 2 feet on the hips. I grab my grips, flare his knees a bit, step forward on the thigh, down to one knee, and I keep heavy pressure. So this is a really nice position to pass the guard from. There are all sorts of options we could go over, but we'll cover a couple basics from here. When I've got this position here, I'm going to drive the knee that is into his thigh, that leg down to the ground, and staple it so my knee comes over top. Similar to a leg drag or a knee cut, that type of staple over his thigh. Now, before I move forward at this point, I'm going to take this other hand that's on the other leg, circle it underneath, about where his calf is. I don't want to come low where he can pull his heel to the ground and make it heavy to move. I want to come back where I can bend right here, straightening that leg, putting tension on his hamstrings, making it hard for him to pull his heel down. I'm going to lean this one forward, putting it up to my shoulder. Again, I need my connection to be on his calf, Achilles area. I don't want to be down here where he can drop his heel, break my posture. That's going to put us into a lot of trouble. Worst case scenario, this leg comes free and I'm in triangle danger. So never put yourself in that position. We're going to reach underneath, making sure we've got tension as we push forward, and we're going to grab the cross lapel here, not the near one that moves around a lot. This one adds tension. We're going to use that tension as we lean forward. We can feel like a guitar string tightening in this hamstring as we lean forward. Once we have ample tension, we're going to move this hand that was on the grip behind his leg and just turn, and his leg will spring past as we take the side. Now sometimes when we do this, the person that we're going against has seen this move before. We get to here, and as we are starting to turn, he puts this frame against our hips. So I can't get past this direction anymore. He's blocked me. What I'm going to do is maintain what I've got here, put my staple back on the ground, and now turn 180. Now I'm going to take, it's important to pay attention to the order of things here. I'm going to take my free leg here, put it over top of his shin, stapling here, and then remove this staple off. We're going to underhook the head, and now we can remove that last staple to come to side control. Right, so again, we're flaring, coming to that position where we can drop the knee, circle underneath, get our lapel, putting pressure, but as we turn, it frames off the hip. So I'm going to drop that staple back to the ground. I can take this hand now and move his hand out of the way, opening up space for us to move into as we pass. And I'm going to switch this staple over, now remove my original, and if I want here, I can just underhook and remove that last staple, or if you feel comfortable, you can drop this hip to the ground and back step out like this, coming back into that cradle position or typical side control. So the next level of spider guard that you'll often see people move from the hips up is going to involve one foot on the bicep here. So now not only does he have a tension guard, but he's sort of pulled me in a direction where my body is twisted, and he's got tension that pushes me away, as well as he can really play with my balance and off-balance me in all sorts of situations. You can shoot triangles from here. It's a really versatile guard. Again, we went over these in a previous video. Check those out if you don't know what we're talking about. But I don't want to deal with this, okay? This is dangerous. I don't want to be here as a passer. So what I need to do is I need to get rid of this spider, but I can't just pull my arm back because he's got this cuff grip here, that pushing there. It's stuck, okay? So pulling and yanking is the wrong answer. Backing up is the wrong answer. I'm just going to drag his weight. What I need to do is straighten my back, and most important, I'm going to throw my hips into his leg to pop that off my bicep. Once I get there, I'm going to take this hand that was spider grip, or was controlled by the spider, grab the side of the pants, and do a throw by pass in that direction to come away. It's a very fast, quick solution to a single spider bicep situation. Where he's got the bicep here, I'm going to step forward, straightening, throwing my hips up, making that grip, and throwing by for the pass. So the last option that we're going to cover for spider grips from the bottom is going to involve double biceps. So he gets both feet up here. And there's two ways that this can work. Sometimes they'll keep you scarecrowed like this, where both arms are up. And in that situation, I'm going to step forward and throw my hips in and bump them both off like that. I like to make a low pant grab right here, I guess high in my direction, at the bottom of his pants. And I'm going to step one leg way back and hit a Toriando pass, slamming his legs to the ground, pinning them, and walking up the body until I can get past the guard and solidify. The other version of the double bicep is going to be a very common usage of spider guard, where they have one up and one down like this. Okay, this one I can't just break both at the same time like we did with the double bicep, but I'm going to treat it like a single. I'm just going to treat it with this high one as the one I need to break originally. So same as the single bicep, I'm going to step in, throw my hips in to break that one, and now he's still got this down here, so I'm going to use my other shin against his thigh to break that right there. We can come to the inside and slam both legs to the ground. One last time on that one. He gets his grips, double bicep, pushes one up. I'm going to step in to break forward, shin down to circle out. Make our inside grip, and now we're going to push in this direction, pinning his legs, come for our pass. So no matter what version of spider they're using, you're going to find that these concepts should apply to breaking their tension, which is a big step forward into getting out of that guard and hopefully right past it. So let me know how this works for you. I hope it works as well for you as it does for me. If you got any questions, drop them in the comments section, and thanks for following. Make sure to subscribe. We'll see you on the next one.